Nobody has like a great 3 days and goes, man, I hope something catastrophic happens tomorrow so I can practice my resilience.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the video. I am at MCO, the airport in Orlando. It is about 5 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, and I am headed out to San Diego again. I'm going out for the elite training retreat for the SPEAR system with Blauer Tactical. It's a weekend training, couple of days that happens at Coach Blauer's house. It's limited to 10 people, a small group to learn from him, train with him, and just experience the SPEAR system, the psychology, the physiology, the physics, all of that in a different lens with a close-knit group. So it's a really cool opportunity. Stay tuned. Later in the video, I'll be telling you how this opportunity actually came about, because I'm only kind of going as an attendee. I'm also going to help out and start potentially working my way onto the mobile training team with Blauer Tactical. So really excited for the opportunity. Stay tuned for how that came about, but enjoy the little travel for now. All right, I'm here settled into my hotel room. It's Thursday evening. I'm tired. I was up super early this morning, as you guys saw. So I'm going to be going to bed fairly early as I'm trying to adjust to the time change for these next couple of days. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how I got here and how this opportunity came about. So last month when I went to the SPEAR Symposium, just for the level 1 graduates, the coaches course, I did really well. I was very proud of myself and how I performed, and was able to help a lot of the people that were there through my coaching and through working with them, as well as the growth that I was able to see myself. And I was talking to a bunch of the coaches, the guys who were leading the course, as well as Coach Blauer, expressing my interest in getting onto the MTT, the mobile training team. It's actually something that I've wanted to do since I went to my first SPEAR event back in 2019. The last couple of months have sparked that interest and that fire again in getting onto the MTT. It's something that I've been working towards, and I put it out there. If you don't ask, you don't know what happens. So talking to the team, talking to Coach Blauer, this opportunity came about. They said that usually you'll have to attend a couple of live events so they can see how you move, how you interact with different people, that kind of stuff. So Coach invited me out for the elite training retreat taking place at his house. This is just about 3 weeks after the SPEAR Symposium, 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. So a quick turnaround. And this was the soonest and really the only live course around this time that I would be able to attend. The next one on the schedule, I think, isn't until April. I knew it was, if I wanted to make this happen, I had to jump on this opportunity and go for it. So I decided to turn around, come back out to San Diego for this weekend, and take my opportunity to intern, start helping out, and prove myself to the team and to the company that I can be an asset. I'm definitely a little bit nervous and anxious. I know I just need to go in there and do my thing and do what I do, but there's always going to be at least a low level of anxiety for me personally. That's just kind of how I roll, but it's something I've learned to manage and use to my advantage to help keep me sharp. So that's how this came about. The schedule, I got in this morning because I wasn't sure if we were going to be meeting with the team tonight or tomorrow. Turns out we're meeting tomorrow. I knew this a couple of weeks ago, but I just kept the plans the same. So tonight I'm on my own, tomorrow morning I'm on my own, and then in the afternoon we're going to meet as a team, get everything set up and prepped for tomorrow night when we have a meet and greet with all the attendees. And then Saturday and Sunday are going to be full days of training, and I'm flying back to Orlando Sunday night into Monday. So I have a red eye over to BWI in Maryland, and then down to Orlando from there. I'm excited for a great weekend. I did find out that there is a fitness center in the hotel that I'm at. I'm in a Best Western. I was in a different Best Western last time I was out here. This one's a little bit closer to where the event is this time. This one is way better, a little bit nicer, and it has a little fitness center. Nothing crazy, but it's enough for me to work out. So check out the workout on the road.
So I got jumped when I was 12 years old. These two guys, hey, I was coming back from a baseball game alone, crossing through.
Good morning. It is Saturday now. Yesterday, like afternoon and evening, we were doing a lot of the setup and prep for the event today for the ETR. And then today and tomorrow are the official training days. Last night we had a little meet and greet, and Coach Blauer did a little talk. We're just kind of getting to know everyone. There's 8 people here for attending the event, and then there's Coach Blauer, and then there's 3 of us here coaching and working with everyone. So it's a cool group. It's actually all guys, which I think they said has maybe only happened once for the ETRs. So it's an interesting group dynamic. Pretty much everyone has some sort of law enforcement or martial arts background, which will be interesting. So we'll see how the weekend goes. I'm excited for it. For me personally, I made it a point to try to talk and get to know as many of them as I could last night. Generally, that's something that's challenging for me, is just putting myself out there and talking to people and like keeping up conversations and continuing, like figuring out other things to talk about to keep the conversation going. I just haven't had as much practice over my life as I probably should have. I'm working on it, and I had some good conversations last night, got to know some of the guys, so that was really cool. Got back to the hotel pretty late last night. It was like 10:15 or 10:30 by the time I went to bed here, so 1:15, 1:30 back home in Orlando. So I got up this morning. I got a good probably 6-7 hours of sleep, so I'm feeling pretty good overall and excited for the day. We're gonna do a lot of the essential drills. Coach Blauer is gonna do some lecture blocks, and then we have a little dinner hangout time tonight. And then Coach Blauer is supposed to do a cycle of behavior lecture and chat while we're doing that. And then tomorrow looks like it's gonna be some more dynamic drilling, and then maybe some of the more advanced concepts and weapons defense stuff. So the outline of the weekend is it's subject to change, just kind of based on the group and what happens, but we have a general guideline of what we're going to be doing. So looking forward to a great weekend. So make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the vlog.
Headlock.
Locked in there. Push away with your forearm. Hold that there. It's not moving, right? You can feel he's locked. Now, splay those fingers. Don't do any Spider-Man shit, just like this. Now what I want you to do, I want you to visualize 2 things. Your forearm is serrated. If I take a knife and I put it on you and I push it, is it going to cut you? Mm-hmm. But if I do this, it'll cut you. So your forearm is serrated. Almost all other situations, you have time to go and really kind of do a sympathetic, parasympathetic breathing. Think about things. Think about those golden rules of acceptance and get challenged and don't stop thinking. But in other shit, you don't. Like for sudden violence, you just got to start moving.
rear index palm. Full spear. Now he's trying to pull me in. Vertical elbow, break the face. Horizontal elbow, break the face, shoot for that tackle, I jam it with that half spear. Hold that diagonal elbow by my lock, drop that diagonal elbow, grab the head. I'm gonna roll in, punch your knee. Outside 90, outside 90.
Display your fingers.
Display your fingers, look at your thumb.
Phase 2 is narration, where I'm here like this and I'm going, okay, he stepped, he moved, he shifted, let me hear some grunting, let me hear some moving. Oh, he gritted his teeth. And I'm notating all the auditory, visual, physical pre-contact cues. So my brain, which is like a hard drive, is making note of all these pre-contact cues. So that if I were in an elevator and I looked down at my phone and I heard that, my nervous system goes, what the fuck, that sounds just like somebody about the sucker punch. Just hit me with the gun, you know, when I move for it. You ready? Right. I just got hit there. If you're pulling the trigger there, I got a hole in my fucking body, right? If I say to him, property while you're like, what? And he knows I'm gonna move.
All right, we are back from San Diego. It's actually been about a week, so I've taken a little bit of time to reflect and think about the ETR weekend. And it was a really good time. It was a really good experience. Day 1 and day 2 were a lot different in terms of my coaching and how I approached it. Day 1 was a lot of trying to feel out the people, so the attendees, and then the coaches as well, and kind of see where I would fit in. Day 2 was kind of off to the races. Like, I found myself speaking up and interjecting a little bit more. I was doing my best to make sure that I wasn't stepping on anyone's toes, but I wanted to make sure that my input was heard, and if I had something important to say that I felt was valuable and meaningful to the people who were there, that I said it, and then I spoke up, and that's exactly what I did. So personally, I had a great time. I thought I did a good job helping and adding value, which is what I was there to do. And from like an attendee perspective of just being there, it was a really cool experience hearing a lot of this stuff from Coach Blauer's mouth directly. A lot of the basic lectures and concepts that are covered in a lot of different material at a lot of different courses, hearing it directly from him, things like the cycle of behavior, the ASAP model, was really interesting to hear not his perspective on it, but the way that he articulates the concepts and the examples that he gives. It was just cool to hear that version of the concepts. So it was a really great experience. I met a lot of cool people. One thing that I was actually surprised about is a lot of times in a lot of SPEAR classes, we'll get pushback from people, whether they are law enforcement, martial artists, anything like that. We tend to get pushback where it's like they're not believing or buying into the system. They're kind of skeptical. They're not sure. They're not super open to learning. They're just there to check it out. There wasn't a whole lot of that. It was a lot of buy-in. Everyone had really invested already a little bit into the system and had a good, not necessarily understanding of it, but they were ready to learn it. They trusted it. They trusted Coach Blauer and the team, and they were there to learn. And it was a really cool experience because it wasn't us really having to defend the system. It was us showing them asking questions about it, and then us being able to dive deeper. So I feel like we got a lot more done than we would have normally because everyone was already so invested. They were asking good questions, and we could dive deeper into these concepts and movements and drills because we didn't have to like defend the system. That was a cool experience. That was something that was surprising, but definitely was a highlight. Another one of the big moments that I had, so a few weeks ago at the SPEAR Symposium, the end of September, was the first time that I really had an opportunity to do like a weapons course. So the one day, the Friday, was all weapons stuff, knives and guns and all of those kind of drills. And I had done a handful of them kind of pieced together over the years, but I hadn't really done a lot of them like in sequence and putting everything together. So it was cool to get that experience and see how the concepts blended with the weapons drills. And then at this course, the ETR, I was helping to teach those same drills. So I've taught some basic weapons concepts before and some basic drills that I have understand and done in the past. But This was a different level. It was more gun stuff than I'm used to be honest. And it was cool because I was able to connect the concepts and the drills pretty much right away. Like, I was able to help coach the attendees through these drills, even though I'd only done them, once or twice. So that was a big moment for me to almost prove myself as a coach that the concepts that I understand about the system, even though I haven't drilled a lot of these weapons drills a ton myself, I understand them to a level that I can help other people do them. And I'm also getting those mental reps of, here's what's supposed to be happening, here's the drill, I'm watching, I'm helping, and I'm able to improve myself while I'm helping them. Overall, it was a great experience. I knew that I had to get out there and start to put myself out there in front of Coach Blauer, in front of the MTT, if I wanted to make my way onto it. And that's exactly what I did. I paid my way out there. I made sure that I got in front of everyone, that I performed well, I did a good job, and I got a lot of good feedback. So I'm very positive coming off of this experience. I'm looking forward to more opportunities to help out, do whatever I can to help the team and help the company and spread the mission. And you guys will be seeing more and more about SPEAR, about Blauer Tactical, about the MTT coming hopefully pretty soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you leave a like, you leave a comment, and subscribe if you want to continue watching the journey unfold. If you're in the Orlando area, let me know. We can set up some SPEAR training. I can keep you posted on classes that I'm running in the area. And I'll see you guys in the next video.